When Arc Raiders was first announced, a lot of people had the same reaction. They thought it would either blow up quickly or fade away just as fast. Because we've seen this pattern before. A new multiplayer game launches, there's hype, streamers jump on it, everyone talks about it for a while, and then a few months later, the player base drops and the game quietly disappears. A lot of people expected Arc Raiders to follow that exact path, but that's not what happened. Instead of falling off, Arc Raiders slowly became more stable. The player numbers started to grow, and more importantly, players actually stayed. So the real question now isn't whether Arc Raiders will survive, but what it did differently to get here. To understand that, we need to look at how the game started. In its early versions, Arc Raiders wasn't perfect. There were balance issues, some systems felt unfinished, and the game tried to put very different types of players into the same experience. And that usually creates problems, because casual players and hardcore players want very different things from a game. Most games fail at this point. They either lean too hard into the hardcore audience and scare away casual players, or they simplify everything and lose the players who want depth and challenge. Arc Raiders didn't choose either extreme. Instead, the developers realized something important. Not everyone plays the game for the same reason, and not everyone wants the same level of intensity. That understanding completely changed the direction of the game. Over time, Arc Raiders started receiving constant updates, but these weren't just small patches or number tweaks. The developers actively reworked systems, adjusted how the game feels, and paid close attention to player behavior. One of the smartest decisions they made was how they separated players. If you want to play the game casually, with friends, at a slower pace, Arc Raiders doesn't force you into high-pressure lobbies. You're matched with players who play in a similar way, which makes the experience more relaxed and enjoyable. At the same time, if you want to play the game seriously and push yourself, there's space for that too. Hardcore players are matched with hardcore players, where the expectations are higher and the challenge feels earned. This kind of categorization is more important than it sounds. It prevents casual players from burning out, and it gives competitive players room to improve without ruining the experience for everyone else. Many multiplayer games never solve this problem, but Arc Raiders clearly made it a priority. Another major reason the game is doing well is how consistent the updates are. Arc Raiders isn't the kind of game that gets one big update and then goes quiet for months. It's constantly being adjusted, refined, and improved. That sends a very clear message to the community. The game isn't abandoned. Players can see that the developers are watching how the game is played, listening to feedback, and reacting to it. And that builds trust, which is something a lot of live service games struggle with. This brings us to the current state of Arc Raiders. Right now, the game isn't just surviving, it's slowly growing. The player base is more stable, the community feels more defined, and the game has a clearer identity than it did at launch. People know what kind of experience Arc Raiders is trying to be, and that clarity matters. So what about the future? If Arc Raiders continues on this path, it may not become the biggest game on the market, but it doesn't need to. Not every game has to dominate charts to be successful. Sometimes success means being consistent, long-lasting, and respected by the people who play it. Arc Raiders seems to understand that. Instead of trying to appeal to everyone, it focuses on serving its players properly. Instead of chasing trends, it builds on what already works. And that might be the smartest decision it could make. Because in the end, a game doesn't survive by being perfect. It survives by knowing who it's for. And Arc Raiders finally feels like a game that knows exactly what it wants to be.